Yeah! Sorry about that. Today we're going to be talking about this pen, and this pen was lent to me by the great, what did I make it? Don Giuseppe Applebaum. Arbo de Bom something. I don't know, I have to think about that in Italian. I don't speak Italian, so now I have to sort of mix half French, Latin. Anyway, utterly irrelevant, innit? This is the TWSBI Eco T, and I don't have a TWSBI Eco to compare it to, but I have reviewed an Eco. Now, I thought, having done no research before I requested this pen, that Eco T, the T would stand for titanium. I don't know why I thought that, but TWSBI has done metal things in their pens. Anyway, this is not that. The T actually stands for triangular, because the grip section is not as round as it is in the normal Eco. It is more triangular. I don't want to say Safari, because that is very prominent. This pen has slightly less prominent facets, but still has facets. And that's not for everyone, but I have found this to be a very, very comfortable writer. So I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I'll do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it, and it's not titanium. Let's get started. Let's talk about the TWSBI. Here we have a TWSBI. Sorry for the zooming in and out. I had a weird message on my camera. I had to see what that was. I do apologize. Here we have the box of the TWSBI Eco T. The TWSBI logo, simple cardboard outer sleeve, recycles, which is really nice if you care about those things. And then we have this nice plastic box. You should not never drink and write. And then here we also have, they should obviously not clean it with alcohol is what this means. Otherwise I get people who say, oh, that's not what that means. I know, I was joking. Okay, filling instructions, what to do and what not to do, and then we have disassembly instructions even, which is quite nice. When you disassemble them, be very careful of the feed because they're quite fragile. Here we have more instructions. We have a tiny little bottle of liquid silicone grease, which is very nice, and the wrench to disassemble it, which I think is very cool that you get that with the pen. And then you have more instructions on the back. It's very economical because they really use all the surfaces basically there, which is very neat. And then here you have the actual pen. I'll now zoom in a bit. This is the TWSBI Eco T in mint, which I think is a limited edition, but anyway, next to a Pilot Metropolitan, which is a little smaller, little bit narrower, especially near the ends, but then again it's not a piston filler like the TWSBI. Let's cover the parts of the TWSBI. Why is it called T? Well, as I said before, it's not titanium, it's triangular. It has a triangular profile and most importantly a triangular grip section. I'll get to that. Nib range is large, extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and 1.1 millimeter stainless steel stub. It's the most economical of the TWSBIs. It costs €28.93 at Applebaum. And again, it has a more structured grip than the regular Eco, which has a round grip, and this has something with facets, which is hard to show you, but maybe the light catches them a little bit, and it forces your hand more in a specific way. I found it very pleasant. And I'm not the biggest fan of Safari, so if I say that, I found it really quite pleasant. Comes with disassembly instructions, comes with the tool you need, comes with everything you need. It is pretty cool. Okay, parts of the pen. We have the finial with the TWSBI logo, which is quite cool. We have a clip, which has a nice groove in it. I think that's pretty neat. It's a nice clip, nice and springy. We have that triangular profile of the cap. We have a center band that says TWSBI and then Eco T, or actually it looks like it says ECOT and China. We have a round barrel, and then we have the piston turning knob with some facets to operate that piston. I have to be a little careful because there's ink in there, so I'm playing with me life here. Anyway, the piston, the ink, blub, 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 it's blobbing around. And then we have a rubber O-ring there, a rubber O-ring there. At the end, it's there simply to make the pen post securely, and it works. O-rings do tend to wear out though, so that's a bit of an issue. And then we have this O-ring there. We have the section, and we have the nib with the TWSBI logo and the word TWSBI on it. And that is pretty much it. This is a broad nib, and it's a very comfortable nib, so I have found. As I said, you can post it, then it's quite a big pen, I find. I wouldn't necessarily use this post-it, but if you want to, then you can. Okay, let's do some writing. This is the TWSBI Eco T. The ink is Leonardo. T for turquoise. You see what I did there, and the nib is broad. The paper is rhodia and very smooth. That's a horrid brown, and this is messed up too. But if we just ignore my inaptitude at writing with fountain pens, we can see that it is, maybe you can't see that, but you can maybe hear it. If I wouldn't be talking through it, it's a very smooth pen. It really is very, very smooth. Nice and wet too. It's lovely to use. I really have to say that. It really made me rekindle my love of TWSBI. Very nice, very pleasant to use. So that's really nice. Stiff nib, I wouldn't really exert too much pressure on that. And as to reverse writing, it's possible, and it turns your broad into a nice fine, I would say. It says writing, but forgive me about that. Really pleasant pen to use. Let's see what I like and what I don't like about this pen. What do I like? What do I not like about this pen? I've decided to now talk with excessive head movements and see if anyone gets really annoyed. So, I think, I'll stop now because I'm giving myself a headache. What do I like about this pen? It's a TWSBI. And that means that people love it. Doesn't matter what it is. If it has TWSBI on it, people love it. So, there you go. It has TWSBI on it. I will say this. It's an exceptionally smooth writer. Very, very, very pleasant writer. Wet, juicy, smooth, great writer. I can't say a single negative thing about it. I love that you get the whole package. You buy the pen and you get in your little box the disassembly tool. Sorry, it's of course so packed away. The disassembly tool and the silicone grease. I wish all manufacturers would do that. Leonardo now has their wrenches for specific, some of the pens, like the Momento Magico. It's really cool, but it's a separate purchase. Now, I'm not nagging about it, but I mean, I do think it's cool that TWSBI is able to make a pen under 30 euros and they give you the wrench. It's no longer metal, it's now plastic. I don't care. It fulfills the same function. It does what it's supposed to do, period, right? So I think that is really, really neat. Things I don't like so much about it. You know, even the posting, it works. It's an O-ring, right? But it works. Problem with O-rings, especially with this kind of friction, is, in my experience, they tend to wear out. You will see wear and tear at some point. What I sometimes do, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I'm just saying, put a little bit of silicone grease on it to keep it smooth. Then you also get that on the inside of your cap. You may get it on other things like clothes, so you have to be very careful, but for me, that's what I do. End of story. Negatives, one thing I will say, the TWSBI feeds are very fragile. So if you decide to pull out this nib and feed, be very careful. Be very careful because these, call it the fins, I would call it the fins, but some people call it a comb, those fine ribs in there, they bend out of shape and break off quite easily. So that in my mind is a downside. Cracking, and then there is some other stuff. I shouldn't say that because I still don't know. Sometimes I feel those cracking issues are solved, and then other people tell me no, they're still not solved. I don't know. What I can say is this has not cracked up to this point. The final thing I will say is, look, you also have to be realistic. It's a pen under 30 euros. What you see is what you get. And I have to give him this. It's a fantastic writer. This nib is super smooth without skipping. This is probably as smooth as it gets out of the box. In my mind, rivaling even something like a Faber-Castell steel broad nib, and that's saying a lot. So they got it right. They got that right. It works. I don't know what else to say about it. It's an affordable pen. It's a piston filler. It comes with the tool to disassemble it. They even give you silicone grease, and it writes like a dream. I'm sorry. If at any point it cracks, that would be a shame, and you buy a new one. It's 30 euros. You know what I mean? Like, this is how it is. So, I hope that was useful. Joost, thanks a lot for sending me the pen. I appreciate it. I'll gladly see you later. Bye.